Hello, my friends. Thank you for coming to play with the ideas that I offer from 4 decades of channeling. Today, we're continuing on happiness, which is the highest emotional state that we can reach in our physical body. It's the advantage of being here. We need to take advantage of it. It's one of the highest expressions that we can achieve. And we're going to look today at how we can value happiness, how we can recover happiness if we feel that we cannot be happy in our life. Now, we addressed in the last video that there are experiences that can mm, hamper feeling happy for a while. But we don't ever lose the potential for being happy within ourselves. We just have to get it back. Now, this gets a little bit into the inside outside thing. Things outside of us can entice us to be happy, but the choice to be happy it comes on the inside. We all have to make that choice. Now, did you ever experience somebody who was truly happy? If you think about it, and I just have about 5 people that I know. Whoops, sorry, I'm changing a setting here. There's a woman who bags groceries where I always shop, and she always wears bright, shiny things in her hair. She always decorates herself. She's one of the happiest. In fact, I think she is the happiest person I have ever met. And when I see her, I sparkle my aura, and I sparkle my aura at this beautiful woman. And she lights up because she knows I know happiness. I know what it is. There are other people that I've known that were happy no matter what was going on around them. The other thing I really have to say is it gets easier to be happier when you get old. Dur. I don't feel like I'm old, but I'm older. And I think the reason for that is we just let go of some of the stress and worry. And we also see our lifespan getting bracketed, right? I mean, we all hope we live for a long time, but we may not. And we become aware of that as we get older. And so experiencing happiness is more of a goal when you're older. And we'll get into why it gets a little bit easier when we talk about kind of the how to part of this. Anyway, sometimes it's called wisdom. And so when you acknowledge older people with kindness, they may just light up. Okay. So let's look at some of the ways that we can decide to be happy. Now, again, we can use tools that entice us to be happy, but it is an internal choice. Now, I did ask about drug use and happiness because my brother has tried ecstasy and he said that it's absolutely amazing. He had never felt so happy in his life. And I don't know where humanity is evolving to. They have told me that our next age is going to be called the artificial age for humanity. It's all going to be virtual. And so maybe the little tips that I'm going to give you today are going to be irrelevant because we're all going to manipulate our own emotions either through substance or from virtual reality. I don't know, but what I do know is I came here to be with this earth while it was still possible one more time. And so my happiness always happens in nature. So things external to us do remind us to be happy. It also came through in this meditation that our culture does not really reward happiness in people. I mean, we don't show it to other people. But in Asian culture, it is more common for them to see beauty and to take happiness or to practice happiness with very, very small things. Like it's just a practice to find happiness. A lot of it for me is when I wake up in the morning, I try and think positive things. And when I go to sleep at night, I try and think positive things. Now, so gratitude and happiness are really, I think, closely linked because when we remember something from the day that we are really grateful for and we amplify that in our mind, it can cultivate or rekindle happiness within us. Loving our pets, helping our pets be happy. I mean, being loving and kind to everything around us, trying to entice other people or our pets to be happy is a very beautiful way to share happiness. It co-generates happiness. The drive for happiness is really important. It's so widely felt throughout our physical body. This is important. Now, what are some of the other things that can help us be happy? Well, music really helps many of us be happy because happiness is a sensory experience. And so, evoking a sensory reaction of pleasure and happiness is if we realize at that moment that we are experiencing happiness. That's one of the main things that I had to do was to recognize happiness when I was feeling it. And so, when my angels were doing a reset with me about happiness, they said to play William Farrell's song, Happy, and dance to it absolutely every morning as a practice. I mean, we can actually practice rekindling happiness. Another thing that helps me be happy is there's some art that I have by a dear friend that's just magical. And it almost never fails to evoke a sensory feeling of happiness in me as the visual effects. And of course, out in nature, we have earth, air, light, and water. And if we cultivate seeing beauty, but recognize when we're happy, I think that recognition is incredibly important to cultivating happiness within us. And so I think if we value happiness and really pay attention to when we're being happy, then we can grow it. within ourselves. We can grow happiness. We can cultivate it. We can develop it. And again, this happens on the inside. It's a personal choice. It's a decision to be as happy as we possibly can. And in that way, we reflect such a beautiful expression back on what I call universal consciousness. I mean, locally, we share happiness with our pets, with our family. For me, cooking also makes me happy. And sharing food that I prepare that somebody else really likes, that makes me happy, unless I have to do it, like day after day. That comes and goes. Um, but we can't cultivate happiness through obligation or duty or chores. And the other thing is we bracket parts of our day to be happy, right? So, we can't be happy when we get up in the morning and we have to go to work. So that takes a little bit of attitude. We can work with our mind with that. Instead of I have to go to work, oh, I get to do things today. You know, it's all a choice of how we consider what we do. And it's incredibly important. It is our birthright. It is the real advantage of being here. All right. So until I see you again, please be well and please be blessed. Take care.